Okay, I want to welcome everybody and say thank you for coming to my introduction show. I'm really excited about starting this. I'm not exactly sure how many I'm going to do a week or a month or whatever, but I just wanted to go ahead and get started somewhere, and I'm really excited to be here. So I want to thank everybody for showing up. And hopefully in the future we'll be able to do some shows that have extra people to kind of come on, and we can tag team doing readings. And I'm just I'm excited. Thank you, Cindy. I'm excited too. It's already getting hot in here. All right, so I have the wireless caller, but I see two of them, so I'm not sure which one called first. But I do want to say a couple of things real quick. This is an hour show. I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. And of course, if for whatever reason I cut out or you can't hear me, let me know, because I'm having to use an old headset and I have hearing issues. So if you can't hear me, let me know and I'll move to a plug-in. All right. And let's see here. Okay. So a little bit about me is I've been doing energy readings here for a while now, and I wanted to, I'm actually a big fan of IntuiTalks and the Curious Times radio shows, and I've always wanted to do one of my own. So I decided to go ahead and get started. If you haven't met me before, then I see energy a little bit different, I think, than some clairvoyants, but I usually see it mostly with colors and the way they're shaped. I call them like energy cells, and I go into the colors and the information that I see around you to get information. I usually also try a lot of things that come forward. I just go ahead and say a lot of those things. And what's really interesting is a lot of times they won't make a whole lot of sense when I first start talking about them. But as we continue to discuss, things will kind of fall into place. So I'm a little bit nervous too, because I've not done this, and I don't want to push the wrong buttons and unmute everybody. It'll be a real party then. But I do want to say thank you again to Chris. She kind of saved my butt here. She gave me a crash course last night, and it was awesome. So I'm looking forward to it, and I want to go ahead and get started because we're already a few minutes into it, and I want to try to get to as many people as I can. So I'm going to start with the wireless caller that called in, and hopefully I'll get the right one. Hey, are you there?
Me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm on the right one. This is Gina?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you want a reading, Gina, or are you just here to listen?
Yes. Yes, I would love one.
All right. So I usually, if you don't see me looking into the camera, it's because I bring a piece of paper with me, and that's where I do all my drawing and stuff on it. So is there anything specific that you wanted to talk about today?
Well, I'm really good friends with Carol Patton. I love her to pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just adore her. It was actually her suggestion that I call in. It was actually a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't get through or whatnot. But yeah, I'm going through some stuff with my guy, and we haven't actually talked in a couple of weeks, and we just spent like a month together back east. I live in LA. We both do, but we're both from back east, Boston and Vermont. And he goes through these little phases every time he gets back from Vermont or whatever, where he just stops talking to me, and it was literally over takeout, and then I was gone too long, and I was gone an hour, just like random things, and then he just stopped talking to me, and there was no real major fight, so, and this is someone I've been with for, going on 5.5 years. So, I was just wondering if there was anything that you could pick up on him or, anything like that.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Since he's not here, I don't usually go too far into their energy, but I will talk to you about what I see around you with him. And because there is what was really interesting. I don't know why I thought this, but as soon as I heard your voice, I thought we were going to be doing some mediumship stuff, but the first feeling that I had was sadness. So okay, so let's see here. Okay, so now now this is a long-term relationship that you're talking about, and you said 5 years. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna. I do feel there's the connection's gonna swing back through, but something so the way I see the colors, they're like shards and pieces of energy that I see. And the way that I see it connecting in with you and the person that's in front of you, because I'm standing the next two of you next to each other, there's these big black lines that kind of go through. So they're like thorns almost would be a good way to describe it. And it's nothing that's like super abnormal. I've seen them before, but usually that's a pretty big indication that's a buildup of like energetic scar tissue, what I refer to as scar tissue. And I feel like that the resting period that is with you guys, I definitely don't think it's permanent, but I think when you go back into developing the relationship with the person, that there is probably going to be some things that are going to come up that those shards that I'm seeing that are going to come up that are going to present themselves into your relationship as it's going to be very challenging. I'll say that. And I think that there's some other this goes like way beyond being angry over a takeout, because these are deliberately set. These are like deliberately set into your energy line from not just him, but from you as well. And it could be the cycle that you guys have kind of rolled into. I don't see the connection being lost, but I do see that it is going to be quite challenging. And I think it's only going to continue because the line gets thicker with those as I go down. I'm going out through the rest of the year too, and I'm seeing more and more of those get set in place. So yeah. I do think that you're going to come back into connection with him, but my biggest suggestion also is, are you taking care of yourself when it comes to being in the relationship? And I'm only mentioning that because I can see your heart. It's beautiful. You have great color around it, but there's such a sadness in it. It's like reliving a death almost every time this happens because the connection just is so cold. And I wonder what damage is that doing to you, and how are you taking care of yourself with that? And, of course, I'm not a therapist or anything.
No, I know that. No, I'm actually going out and doing things and, working on studying for my real estate license, which I get next month. And, I'm doing the stuff. I have a son, and I take care of him when he's not with his dad. And so, I've definitely been keeping myself very busy. The thing is whenever we go back to Vermont, and I literally was with him for a month, and we had a couple arguments there, but when he comes back, his dad passed away about a couple of years ago, and I know that he had some issues with that, and so a lot of the time when he comes back, because he goes to Vermont several times through the year, he acts up when he goes there and revisits it, and he goes into like a depression almost, and I didn't know if there was any substance abuse. I had kind of gotten some indications. I've never seen him do anything, but I've gotten some indications, and there's definitely more to it. And I don't think, I'm like the best girlfriend in the world, I do everything for him and, and his kids and stuff. So, I don't like to just give up. So I totally understand that. And I get where you're going with that. I do feel like it's more than depression. I feel it, but obviously grief plays a big part in a lot of that. But I think there's deliberate detachment happening. Not because you're not a good girlfriend, but I think the things that are going on with him and how he's going to have to process through some of these things is what's holding. And this goes back for him. Like I said, I don't want to get too far into his energy, but this goes way back, way back. So, childhood stuff even. So I don't think it's you or your behavior. And I do feel that there's a trueness there, but also when we're treating our partners, with
the ability to be able to just disconnect and be so cold like that, it does bring up question. That's why I mentioned, what are you doing for you? Like, I'm glad you're getting out and doing those things and keeping yourself busy, but I know that doesn't break away some of the hurt that you're feeling and the sadness. This is
Right.
this is like way beyond regular depression. So this is deep, way deeper than that. And can be concerning sometimes with just looking at the energy from it. How far down
from what he does, or
right, just how far down into the depression that or it's just a deep sadness. And I think that's the first thing that I picked up when I heard your voice. And it's not just him. There's this piece of you. You don't want to give up on people, and you have this great heart, and you want to go forward and be in this relationship where you're able to exchange, equally, but you also aren't getting that equality back in love. So, but I do think when you end up reconnecting with him, some of that stuff's going to have to be brought up and talked about and worked through together as a team. Otherwise, it's just going to get thicker and thicker and thicker as you go along. It's going to get worse and worse.
Absolutely. That's what Carol said too. Yes, absolutely.
But Carol's amazing, and I'm glad
I know. I talk to her every day. She's like my other mother, like I talk to her every day. We've been friends for a few years now, and I adore her. She's had me talk to Renee. I've talked to Renee before. Renee Richards is actually good friends with my sister. And, there's like this whole circle, but, I just, Carol was like, sometimes it's good to just hear other things, because.
Sure. And I'm sure. I'm glad you called, but just remember the energy is going to come in a lot slower than you like. It's going to take some time. And when it does come in, it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little bit different. So just make sure to kind of, keep your mind open with that. Okay.
But
and thank you so much.
Right?
I do see you reconnecting with them. I do, but I don't think it's going to be when you want it to be.
Well, I want it to be right now, so yeah.
I know you do, but be patient and just be patient and let it happen how it needs to happen. And when it does
I haven't had any contact with him. I haven't tried to contact him. I did, a couple of days into it, but I have not contacted him recently.
Good deal. Yep, just give him some time. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oops, I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't even let you say thank you. Okay, so I might have, so I see a wireless caller. That's who I have next. Unmute her. Are you there, caller?
Is this me?
I think so. How are you?
This is Christy. Hi.
Hi, Christy. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. It's not raining or snowing today. I am wonderful.
So are you calling for a reading, or are you just listening?
I would love a reading, please.
Let's do this. So what are we talking about? What's going on?
I don't have anything specific on the top of my brain today. My brain is too scattered.
That's okay. So I'm just gonna kind of go into your is this Christy from Michigan?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay, that's the right Christy then. Okay.
That's why I'm so excited about having no snow.
So I know, right? It was like 80 degrees here today. It was awesome. We went and fed the little baby ducks. So so I'm seeing a big time of interest. Let's say introspection would be a good word. So of a looking in, so reevaluation of things that are going on. But did I talk to you before about some paperwork being pushed through? Is that you? Because I'm seeing.
That was me.
Okay, so this is okay. That's it was the same thing I saw last time. Okay, so what I'm seeing is the first thing I'm actually seeing is your energy's going. It's instead of going out and around how I usually see it, it's going in and back and through your heart chakra and back out your back and back around, which is interesting. Which a lot of times when I see that, that's why I said the introspection, or looking inside of yourself. So I feel like there's some reevaluation of things in your life that are going on. But when I'm moving down that, the first thing I start seeing is all these papers around you. And I'm also.
I wish I could.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I wish it was possible for me to send you a screenshot of me in my life right now. You would laugh.
Oh, it's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
I feel I do feel like you're going to come out with that, Christy. I really do. I think that the timing of it is it's unusual, because I would have expected some of this to kind of go through already. So I don't know if some stuff has gone through and you're waiting on additional information or what's going on, because I feel like some of it is being evaluated, if that makes sense, or has been some evaluation. At least as far as the paperwork is going. But I'm also seeing the person that you're dealing with that it's like I know this sounds really strange, but I can always smell arrogance. And I feel like that the person you're dealing with is very has that kind of smell to them in a way. So but almost like batting away things. So I feel what I am feeling is that there's resistance there, and I don't think that it's a personal thing because of who you are. I just think that I think there's a lot of new players in place that are trying to take control back of a lot of the sloppiness that the state. I don't know if it's the state or the city that you're working with, but that I feel like there's been a big changes internally there. And so there's new players in place, if that makes sense. And these people are expected to do things a little bit differently. And I think that's what you're coming up against. But I do think that you're going to see success with that. It's going to take a lot of not just strength on your part, but meticulousness of what you're writing down. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that is probably the most polite way I have ever heard someone describe someone as being unhelpful. I mean, just completely dropping the ball. They might smell a little arrogant. You are definitely a Southern girl.
Well, if I wasn't recording, then I would say all kinds of spicy words. I do feel okay. So I'm also seeing some other things that are going to come up, and this feels hot. So this is going to be in the middle of the summer probably, or even towards the end of the summer. But I'm seeing like a curveball come through and I feel like it has something to do with what you're dealing with as far as this paperwork stuff goes. But I think it's also a separate issue. So I'm not saying it's going to take till June or July to really get the ball rolling, but I feel, because I see an incoming piece of mail coming to you in June or July, and I feel like you're almost having to go. I feel you get kind of pissed about, like, you've already done something that you were supposed to, and they're re-requiring something of you, and it's shaken me right at my gut. So it's I can feel your dissatisfaction when you're seeing this letter. I can feel your I want to say though it's something that you've already taken care of. So you should you are keeping copies of everything you're sending them?
I would have to say 50% of the time I'm on top of it. The other 50% of the time it's circular filed accidentally.
Okay. Just if you can definitely try to keep copies. And if you can't get out to get the copies, the pictures, take pictures or something. Cause I feel like now this goes back into what I was feeling earlier when it feels like it was just a jumbled up mess before. And there was a lot of things that weren't happening from the public servants at the time. So I feel like there was a big change that came through to kind of stop a lot of that stuff. But I think clerically that there's still something's getting crossed. There's lines getting crossed somewhere, or the people are receiving paperwork and not pushing it through all the way or something. And I think that's what I'm feeling in the summer, is something come up with that. So make sure you're keeping copies of everything.
I can do that. I will make a point. If I can't make copies physically, then I can certainly take pictures on my phone. So that would be a good record for
yourself, because I do feel like you're meticulous in what you're doing. I mean, I feel like it's real repetitive too. Like you're filling out the same thing over and over and over and over and over. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's almost like the same information. So
yeah.
Anyway,
well,
okay, that's what I got for you.
Thank you for the heads up for the summer. I will make sure to keep copies of everything. Thank you
for calling. Thank you. Okay. So I wasn't paying attention to chat. I wasn't sure. I'm not. Let's see, who am I supposed to pick next? Because everything's in alphabetical order. So, was there somebody in chat I was supposed to pick up on? No? Okay. So all of the, Cindy, I don't know how to unmute you because you don't have a little, I think you have to go to the top of the page up here and unmute yourself. Or press 1. She doesn't have a mic. Well, she might have a mic, but I don't see a mic on her. Wayne, okay. Okay, did I get you?
Yes, I think.
Oh,
did you?
Right, I did it.
Yay!
It would have been funny. It would have been funny if I was back for the next 30 minutes trying to unmute.
I know. I actually put myself live, but then I had to close the chat room because I didn't know how to turn off the volume. Yeah, if Chris is listening, don't slap me. I will eventually learn how to do that.
I learned how to. Would you mute her on your show?
But I am so excited for you. This is so cool. I love that you're doing this.
I'm excited too. Thank you, Cindy.
You're so welcome. It's like us girls supporting each other. And so, yeah. Now, question. I know you have other callers. I don't have one, so I'm just going to let you go with what you get.
All right. So I'm just going to go. Into your. Man, you're a busy lady.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so I have a couple of things. Now you just moved, so you're not planning to move again, are you? So
you're probably picking up on, we moved to Key West almost 4 years ago, but Key West doesn't have a lot of what other cities have. So with our ages, I was looking at some houses in case we had to leave here eventually, just to find pricing in areas. But no, we're not moving.
Okay, so but you're looking for another house then?
No, I was just looking at pricing in case eventually we have to. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Because I don't know why, but I kept seeing it, and then I almost felt like something. It was like keeping you up almost a little bit, like a repetitive thought about it. But is your mother on the other side?
No, but you're probably picking up on my grandma. which was kind of like that, yeah.
I'm sorry, it was what?
Kind of like Mother.
Okay, because there's a very interesting woman that is coming through, and I'm trying to look in your energy, and she's like, I'm over here. So I wanted to mention it, but it was interesting because of how she was connected to you. So I thought she was your.
It could be my stepmother.
Mother. Well, let me just tell you what I'm picking up off of her because I'm trying to get a name too, but and she keeps going like flashing a 5 to me. So I'm not sure if that connection with you with the number 5 or anything, but she's standing right inside of it's a very small like kitchen, right? So it's not big. It's got some really incredible smells coming out of it. So I don't know. She's trying to validate that she was in the kitchen a lot, or she cooked a lot, or she prepared meals for you, or something like that.
Yes.
She's also showing me this. I think she's got shorter hair too. If that helps. It's also when she's hugging you, she's patting her back, and she's holding a piece of jewelry that's around her neck. I don't that you may have of hers. It looks like a necklace.
Quite a few. Yes.
A religious symbol, or like a little medallion or something.
Yeah, I have a lot of her jewelry. Yes.
But what I'm seeing now is you standing over. It looks like it's a box that has like little flowers on it or something, and I see jewelry in there. So I can see that piece.
Yes. Okay.
And also, she's like pinching your little cheeks.
Okay.
But she's so. I really feel it's a very motherly connection. So if it is either one of those, I'm trying to get a little more validation for you so we can figure out.
It's probably my grandmother.
Which one we're talking about. Now, did she have anything to do with gardening also?
I'm sorry? Have what?
Did she have any gardening or have a lot of houseplants?
I did, and she lived with me.
Okay, I feel like there's some connection with that, and I want to say that and she's very strong on the left side, so I don't know if this would be your mother's mother, but usually that's where I pick it up off of. Is my left. So I don't know if I'm off or not, but she's on your feminine side. That's usually how I see feeling her feminine. But I feel like there's a strong message too that kind of comes from her, and it's really about going from a place of judgment and being there's like a condescending tone to it, to being this spokesperson almost in love. So I feel like there was a big transition with her also through her life, and that she speaks clearly to you now. So I don't know if you talk regularly. Okay, you do. Now and so because you're a medium, right? Of course. As soon as I said that, I could see. I always, when I see mediums, I see lips right by the third eye.
Okay.
So I do feel like she's but it's a real soul connection too. So I feel like she's also with you, almost guiding you, like one of the people that would guide you.
I agree completely. Yes.
Now she's got the cutest laugh too, and she's. I think what she's trying to really do is just go on and on and on about how excited she is for you and how proud she is of you. And she's like, oh, it's like trooper, like God, like the things she's been through. There's a time period that I see where, it was like almost walking through quicksand, and you were just thinking and thinking and thinking. And I feel like she was one of the reasons, because I can see her talking in your ear, that really help push you through a lot of that. And she's talking about how strong your faith is. And you have very hot energy also. So, and I can see the four angels or something behind you.
Cool.
But they're real. They're real tall. And usually I'll see them tall, but not like that tall. So I feel like they're very protective also. But she's a lot shorter, and she's standing like right in all of them, and she's like I work with these guys, you know. So I feel like there's a big connection between her and the things that you're doing as far as the protection and moving forward with your love, I think, is what she's showing.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's a big part of that with them. So it's like you have this team of people around you, and she's like, and that's not all. And I can see now all kinds of people behind you. So I see like the sea of people, and not just spirits. I feel a lot of this is a big, it's like a soul group connection that stands behind you.
I am so blessed. I have so many. Well, I have lots and lots of loved ones on the other side that I help cross. And I know, I do have faith. I do believe that I trust that Spirit is here for me, I guess is the word I want to use. And so you're right on, which doesn't surprise me at all. And so thank you. I don't know why. I'm nobody special, It's like I'm just me, but I feel like I have this big team.
Well, I think that's what I think is special, though, is because there's such humility around you. You have like, even at your where your heart, where it grows out. I can see the connection into your throat and everything. So I feel like you're this walking ball of truth. You say what you mean, and you mean what you say. And even when you're not saying anything, that probably speaks a lot louder to a lot of people than you saying something. So I feel like just your energy is very pure and open. Like I'm watching you walk down a dark hallway right now, and the only light that I see is what is around you. And I don't see any fear around you, at least not getting into your energy, because I feel like you stand so strong in your faith.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool to watch her, because she's so funny. She keeps like swinging her head in, like.
Yeah, I'm here. And so, yeah, and I think she helped me. She helped me years and years and years back to get, started. And so, yeah. And that would be my grandma. And when she died, I was thrown into this stuff. And I had the best connections just happen. It's like I always felt like that was her.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think so. And she's a talker too. But anything, I think the comfort that she's trying to provide too, because she goes back to these smells that I smell, like it reminds me of childhood a lot. So it smells like comfort food. It smells like something like that. But I don't even. Okay, so I was going to say I don't even know if she's a cook, or whatever. But I feel like what she's trying to express is her comfort around you. That she's trying to comfort you.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps talking about October, so I don't know if that connects with you in any way.
Yes,
okay.
It does. Mhm. And so, yeah, this is Grandma, and she's an amazing person. She was in life, and she still is in death. And thank you so much for this reading. I was kind of like, okay, I'm calling in just because you're having your first show, so that I can be linked to you, because you're amazing.
Oh, Cindy, thank you. I can't believe the amount of support, and everything. It's been overwhelming, and it's always really wonderful to be able to connect in with people that, that want the same things, that are walking kind of a similar path, and even if we're doing two different things, I still feel like the support that we have for one another is really important. So thank you so much for calling.
You're so, so welcome. Just put me back on hold. I'm going to continue to listen while I'm cooking dinner. Okay, thanks.
All right. Bye. Okay. Who is next? I'm really sorry I didn't write everybody's names down when they came in, so I got a little backwards. So who is next? Thank you, Carol. Now, I think I may have already talked to the wireless caller. Okay, I'm just going to pick somebody that I don't recognize. Okay, I don't know who Mr. Wonderful is. Are you there? Can you hear me? All right, Mr. Wonderful is not answering his call. So I'm going to put him back on mute and go to the next person. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Shelby. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
And congratulations on your new show.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm getting burned up with all the energy. I'm going to have to take a bath when I get done.
Well,
so
I am
what's up?
Sharon. I am Sharon, and I've always heard great things about you, so I thought I'd call in.
Awesome. It's nice to meet you. Now do I know you?
Yeah, I went to Chris's show and Corrine. I'm Skywalker.
Okay. Your voice sounded familiar. I'm like, you sound familiar. Awesome. So what do you?
And I apologize for all the nature sounds in the background.
Oh, it's okay. I'm mostly deaf, so I can barely hear anyway, so I don't hear anything.
Well, my son's off today, and they're gaming, so they get a little rowdy, so I called in, and then I hung up because they were getting too rowdy. So I thought I'd come out here on the back porch, and now nature is wanting to join in to the call.
Let's let them.
Okay, sounds great. So I thought maybe if you could tap into maybe just what you see coming up for me in the next few months, maybe.
Let's see. You're pretty. Your energy is very pretty. It's very, it's very soft. I like it. Okay. All right. So what is with, are you going to, now you're not getting married or anything, are you? You're getting into a new,
I'm not even in a relationship.
Well, I'm asking because, I was seeing, it looked like a big, like a wedding hall or something, and I saw you standing in it.
I wish.
Now you didn't look like you were wearing a wedding dress, though. That's why I asked. So, let me go into this and see what this is about, because that was the first thing that sort of popped up. So, now are you, okay, this looks like, you know those big churches that have like all the stained glass, and then they have like the red walking carpet and all the setup and the chairs and all that around it?
Yes.
That's what it looks like. So it looks like a big wedding hall. But it's tied it's tied to some kind of, I'm hitting a wall with this. Let me think here for a second. It looks like it's tied to, okay. Oh, are you, I hope it's okay to ask this. Are you on disability, or are you at,
Yes.
are you,
Yes.
you aren't? You are?
No, I am.
Okay. I think what I am seeing is, do you have trouble, is it with your legs?
That too.
Well, let me tell you what I'm picking up, and
okay.
Because I'm trying to get it out without you having to tell me anything. So let me tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this big hall, or room, I guess, religious room, or it's not even religious. It's just it reminds me of like a wedding hall. And I see you standing right in the middle of it, but I can't see behind you. I can only see at your back and ahead of you. So I don't know if this is something that that you're going into, but I feel like there's trouble moving. So, like your legs aren't moving or something.
Right.
And right ahead, I'm seeing, where you would kind of go to get married, and there's like a pedestal where they do a sermon or something, or minister marries people, and right ahead, and there's this big book, and there's flowers all around this book, and I'm watching you look at it, but I can't. So then I try to like tap you a little bit to get you to walk towards it, and I can't get you to go up there. So I don't know if this has something to do with I want to say religious development, but a spiritual development, but it feels very like orthodox. It just feels very it's like stuffy almost even. And I can't get you to move at it. So I'm not really sure what that's all about. But I feel like it's tied to a disability. That's why I asked about your disability. And you don't have to go into any detail about it, but there's some connection with being able to move forward in this picture that I'm seeing that I can't quite make out all the way.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going forward with it because I feel like what's happening is, with you right now is that there's this circle of energy that's going around you. And instead of it being really
I do have a pending case. With the VA. I don't know if, so I'm kind of like waiting on that. I don't know if that would fit.
I feel like there's supposed to be a celebration that's supposed to happen, but you can't get there. And the way I say celebration is because it's a wedding hall. So the first thing I automatically think is it's somebody's wedding, or there's a party, or there's supposed to be something, but you won't move. I can't get you to move anywhere. And then I was immediately pulled into the disability. But there's this circle of energy that's going around you, and it's just spinning and spinning. And usually what happens when I see that, I'll see it go through the top of the head and then pull straight back down through your body. And usually that energy is supposed to be balancing you. Well, it's not doing that. So I feel like there's a balance issue energetically, and I don't think it's anything like really big or anything serious or anything like that at all. So I don't want to alarm you. But I do feel like there's some kind of something's missing with the balance here. And I'm being brought right back down into your hips and your legs. I feel pain in my feet even. I don't know if that resonates with you, it's just very, I think what I'm seeing with the energy this way is it's trying to cause I'm being sucked into pain when I go into it. So I don't think it's flowing,
right.
the way I normally see on people. It's off somehow.
That actually really makes sense to me. That resonates with me.
But your your colors are they're beautiful. I don't see anything like, real heavy or dark around you, because I feel like even the normal kind of energetic stuff that I see is still, I see you moving. It's very smooth. Your energy is very, it flows really well and it's very smooth. So I feel like you take these challenges on and you can, I do feel, now, do you have a husband on the other side?
No, but I did, have someone on the other side that we never married, but I did look at him as in that way.
Okay.
And he is on the other side.
'Cause I really feel him, I can feel him strongly. And he even grabs your shoulders to hold you. So he's like balancing you.
Oh.
But I can see a heart connection. That's why I asked if he was your husband. But with the balance thing, let me get back to that. 'Cause I don't think this is anything that is, like worrisome or anything. I just feel like
right. Well, I am making a lot of changes in regards to my health, so hopefully I will be able to start getting the energy to flow.
I think this place that I'm seeing, whenever you get to the end of this pillar or whatever this is that I'm looking at with this big book, because the colors of the edges of the book are my symbol for high energy. So I feel like you are having trouble moving it has something maybe to do even with spirituality, but it's still connected with your disability. So I don't know if something's holding you back from being able to move forward. And that's what I'm seeing. But I feel like if you can get yourself going, I feel like there will be a celebration. This is a celebration hall. This is a place to celebrate, especially people being able to come together, reunited even in a way. So there's a very strong energy connected to relief when I can walk up to the book, but I cannot get you to go up to it. So I don't know what the
well, I do feel like my health is kind of standing right now, kind of in my way of my spiritual path.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's interfering.
Now, do you deal with a lot of pain?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause it's squeezing the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
I mean, it's shaking my whole lower body. It's just...
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's I'm the one in your energy. So do you do any kind of energy work, Sharon?
Yes.
Okay. I think that the energy work's going to be the best bet for getting that circular motion that I'm seeing going around you with the whole balance. I think that's going to be one of your best bets to clear out, especially with the pain that you're having. A lot of that stuff is connected to traumas, not physical traumas necessarily, but emotional trauma.
Right.
And I feel like the more you're able to dislodge some of that stuff and move it out, that the better that you're going to feel. The heat that comes off you does indicate that you are doing something with energy, and but it feels good. It doesn't feel bad.
Right.
And it feels like.
And I have been attracting some powerful healers that are working with me right now. Just started recently, so.
Excellent. Is it helping your pain at all?
Yes.
Good. That's excellent news. It hurts me to know about people. I live with a lot of pain, but my mother also had lupus, so she was in pain a lot. So I'm kind of sensitive to. My heart goes out to people that live in pain like that. I do
Mine
see
too.
I do see some really fresh energy coming up, but this isn't going to be until this is months out. But I feel like you break a chunk off of whatever, this heaviness is on your right side. I feel like it kind of breaks off and there's the relief that comes from it. So I don't know if this is going to be because of the energy work that's being done or that you're doing or that somebody else is doing, but I do feel, I feel much lighter as I go out through the year. Even into August, when I get into August, I feel like I can smile. I feel like you don't get to do that often enough.
Right.
But I feel like by August, and I hate to keep bringing up the disability stuff and the energy stuff with it, but I feel like there's a big shift that's going to come with that, and there is relief coming. So just hang tight if you can. And I'm even in October now, and it feels. I see that now. Do you have small children around you, or grandchildren,
No.
or something?
No,
Okay.
I have no grandchildren.
When I'm in October, I see you laughing, and I see two little kids. So I don't know where these kids are coming from, but I feel like they're bringing you a lot of joy. And I feel like
Well, my son is single, so maybe down the road he's meeting someone that might have children or something. Okay.
This just feels like you have an opportunity to sit and be childlike with them also. And it feels good to be able to do that when I'm sitting in your energy. So I do think there's a lot of things that are coming that you have to look forward to. But there's still a sadness that's sitting. We don't have to get into it if you don't want, but I still feel like there's something weighing on your heart, cause I can feel it when I go into your colors right around the left side of your heart. So I'm not sure what that's connected to, but even that, as I go all the way down.
Just mostly my health.
Do what?
Just mostly my health.
Okay. I do feel like by October there's a lightness about you, and that you feel okay. Not better, but better than you do right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Keep up with the energy work. I really mean that, Sharon. I really feel strongly that it's going to help. And more than anybody working on you, I think you working on you is what's really going to push you to feel empowered.
Right. Thank you so much, Shelby. That was beautiful, truly.
I'm so glad you called, and I finally got to talk to you. I knew your voice sounded familiar.
I'm glad I called to you.
Nice to get to meet you.
Same here. And I wish you the best with your show. I know you're going to do awesome.
Hope so. Thank you so much. Okay, I think I can do one more. It won't be very long. Who can I unmute? Did Wayne. See who else has a microphone. Somebody press the button. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey. Okay, awesome. How are you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Okay, what's your name?
Adriana.
Adriana. I like that name.
Thank you.
Were you calling for a reading or?
So, yes.
Thank you.
Please.
Were you calling for a reading or are you just listening?
Yes, for a reading.
Awesome. Do you have anything specific you want to talk about today?
Just maybe health-wise, if possible. I'm going through some issues. I just want to make sure that everything's going to be okay. If you pick up on that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I'll pick up on, but I'm going to preface this with saying I'm absolutely not a doctor. So, medically speaking, I can't give you any medical advice, but I'm going to tell you what I'm picking up. Because I feel like you're about to come into something where you're really going to start feeling beat up. but I also feel like, I feel like when I'm going down, see, this is the other thing, that I'm picking up in your energy too is I don't know if there's like if you're hyper focused on whatever it is, health wise, or how much of your life is being taken over by it, but I do feel like that's really what you're focusing on at the moment. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, so when I look at that and I go in down, because this is what I do. I always set little calendars up in my head, and then I kind of point at them to figure out what's going on. But as I'm going into the next few months, I'm feeling very. It feels like I don't know if I'm defensive or if I'm trying to. I feel like you're on guard and that you've been put through the ringer. That's what it feels like. But as I keep going, I feel like you kind of come into a space with all of this that now I feel like you come into a space with it, but that feels a little bit better. But I also feel like there's still so much it's fear. I'm picking up more fear off of you than I am picking up the health stuff. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
And this again could be where you're putting your focus. So what I'm going to tell you is to take a deep breath when you start getting focused on whatever the problem is that's coming up, because that fear will really kick in. I guess it's going to accelerate any issues that you're having if you're focused on it in fear. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm watching the energy go through you, and it doesn't look like the severity of it over the next couple of months is what the issue is. I really feel like what the issues that's coming up has to. Now, are they doing like testing on you or something?
Yes, and I'm on medication.
Okay, that's probably okay. So, because I feel like you're being dragged through all kinds of testing. But my bigger, again, I go back into my bigger feelings that I'm picking up off of it are being driven by your fear of whatever is going on with you. Are they also taking a lot of blood from you?
Yes.
So I'm going through all your little veins and stuff, and I'm really not. I really don't want to get into too much health stuff, but I will tell you, I don't think that. I think that your best bet, Adriana, is really going to be to try to take control back over your thinking with what's going on. I do feel things. I do feel issues. But the bigger one, more than anything that's overshadowing, is the fear that's coming in with it. And I can't just say, don't worry about it and think, you can't do that. And I totally get that. I understand that completely. But I want you to know that, it's going to be really important for you to try to shift your focus to, try to bring in more good feelings to yourself, if that makes sense. And if that means that you have to go, enjoy yourself more or do things that you enjoy more, even if you don't feel like you have the time or the energy to do it, if you can just, cause I feel, does this, whatever's going on, does this have anything to do with like your fatigue or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay. If you can make, just a tiny bit more, time for yourself to do something that you enjoy, drinking a hot cup of tea in a bathtub, or sitting outside and listening to the birds, feeding the birds, anything like that. Anything that can bring you small patches of joy I think when you start ingesting those things energetically, it's going to help you immensely, especially with the fatigue. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Adriana. Thank you for calling. I'm sorry I had to cut it short. Thank you so much, and just hang tight, okay?
Thanks. Have a great evening.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. That's the wrap up, and I want to thank everybody for showing up to my introduction show, and I really appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. Now I have to go wash all this sweat off of me. I should not have the camera on next time. Anyway, I appreciate it, and you guys please stay tuned. Also, because I'm not sure quite yet when I'm going to do the next show, but it is going to be something that I'm going to be doing on a regular basis. If you follow me on Twitter at Third Eye Betty, or you can find me on Facebook, Energy Readings with Shelby Aesthetic. You find me on there, and I will. I'll keep you guys posted with whatever I'm going to do. I don't know if this is going to be weekly or every other week or what, but I just really appreciate all you guys' support, and please check out the other shows that IntuiTalks has. This is an awesome platform. If you're wanting to build a spiritual-based website, or if you're wanting to host a show, I can't say enough things about IntuiTalks. So please check all that stuff out. And thank you, Martin. You look beautiful too with your new haircut. And you guys have a good night. Thank you. Bye.